So you don't have drunk driving. Most Muslims don't even have weapons in their home. You don't find young Muslims in juvenile hall and in the penitentiaries. Because in general, Muslims, as you mentioned, are law-abiding people. People who respect the law of the land. So I would use that first as one means of defending the situation. Then number two, that all religions have religious zealots within the fold of their religion. Whether you're Catholic or Protestant or Jewish or Muslim or Hindu, you'll find people within any religion who represent an extreme thought or extreme ideology. And usually, 9 times out of 10, they're a minority in comparison to the mass population.
Yeah, okay, but let me ask you just one question. Because we see that some people have sat here and told me that the media and the way they report Islam is unintentional, you know? So to take the criminal Muslim and attach him to an entire religion, saying he's doing something practiced by his religion, and to never do that with the Christians, because there was a man, he took a car and ran over children. Another man, he drove by and shot people. We don't know what their religion was. So, I mean, is it accurate to say that the media is just unintentionally attaching...
There was a sister I know who used to work for CNN, and she told me that a lot of people within the media corps just don't know about Islam. This is how they've been programmed and socialized. So I think you have two problems. Number one, the job of the Muslim is to spread the positive image of his religion. Number two is that other human beings have a responsibility to learn about things. So it's kind of like a give and take. We need also to make sure, we should set up organizations that contact the press and inform the press of who we are. We should have public service announcements. We should have television shows like your television show. We need to be active. There was and there is in some areas of our community an isolationist mentality.
And what do you mean by that exactly?
Where people say, well, we just need to pull back from society and not be involved. And that creates further extremism. But Allah says, li ta'arafu, we created you that you can know each other, not that you can isolate yourself from each other. So it's a two-part strategy, but most definitely the media has failed in its coverage of Islam in America to the extent that some non-Muslims are saying that they have never seen a group of people portrayed this way except in the time of the Jews under Hitler, when the press there was portraying the Jewish community as being subversive, preventive strikes were mentioned, and so on and so forth. So most definitely we have to call our media to account. They've done a very, very negative job. There's been some positive. Oprah, for example, had the ambassador, ex-ambassador of Pakistan on, and he was able to actually have a Q&A with people about Islam. But for the most part, it's a difficult situation.
Now we see that our unfortunate Muslim youth are the prime ones who get picked off by these terrorist groups. You know, what are some of the things we need, because, I mean, once that's gone, some of those youth are lost to us forever and become a danger for the entire world. So what are some of the things we can do to keep our youth in the fold and keep them strong enough to be able to resist the overtures which come from these terrorist groups?
Number one, we need to have imams and scholars who can communicate to these young people on their own terms and can relate to them according to how they understand things. The famous statement, speak to people according to their understanding. So a lot of youth feel alienated from scholars and alienated from people who could really be of benefit to them. We need to take the converts, communities and incubate them and teach them first, because the danger lies, especially when you convert to Islam or a young person, you have a lot of zeal. But do you understand, you just mentioned to me before the interview, the danger of people delving into understanding of text that don't qualify and coming to conclusions which are very, in some cases, the opposite of the intent of the actual text. So education is one. Number two is activism. We need to let these youth use their talents and participate in the communities. Keep them busy. And also number three, to stand up and warn our community of the radicalized elements that exist in the community and make it known to the community that these people represent a stream of Islam which is unorthodox.
Let me ask you, because I just want to say that again. So you're saying that the Muslims, if I know in my masjid, in my